Oh, what's good, guys? I'm back. It is Tristan on day 278. All right, it's about 7:30 right now. I just got done from an hour of cardio, and I did 20 minutes this morning. I did an hour now. I do it every day. It got me thinking. All right, it got me thinking of every single day. Right, this is not just for fitness; it's for life in general. Because most people, you're not going to want to hear this. Right? It's just how it is. Like literally, the lesson is that you don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. But I lie to myself every day. You lie to yourself every day. Your subconscious mind is that little bitch voice in the back of your brain that's like telling you I'm doing more than I'm actually doing, right? It lies to you because it wants to think that you are doing more than you're doing, so you get that gratification, right? That self-gratification, that's that dopamine that gives you that dopamine release and makes you happy. It makes you feel like you're doing something, when in reality, you're doing much less than you're actually doing. And I think this is like a pitfall of why people get a big ego, why people like say they're going to do all these things and then end up not doing them, because they get the self-gratification from saying they're going to do the things. In the back of their mind, they're lying to themselves. And I had a big problem with this. Not necessarily now, and I still do it. Like I'm not fully over it. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect human being. But this is just something that I've gotten over in fitness, especially, and I'm trying to get over in the rest of my lives. But I think that other people, if you actually realize it, some people just don't know. They just don't know what's going on in their life. And I see it happen a lot in fitness, especially the two things that people want to do: build muscle and lose fat. And if you don't know my story, all right, I get a lot of people that will come to me, like they'll ask, how do you build muscle? Like, how do you bulk up, Tristan? Right? How do you gain so much weight? Right? How do you cut weight? How do you cut fat? How do you lose more fat? How do you get shredded? And if you don't know me, I started in my freshman year. I was 130 pounds as a cross country runner. I was like about 5'11", super skinny. Right? I'm 6 feet right now. But I was 5'11", like I was still tall back then. I didn't grow after like my sophomore year or my junior year. I was like 6 feet, and then I haven't grown. So I was very skinny and lanky, and I had to gain weight. Right now I'm about 200 pounds. Right, going from those genetics of a super skinny cross country runner, I had to go through the process of eating a lot of food and bulking up. And I have the same conversations with these people. Right? The same people who want to cut weight and the same people who want to gain muscle. They lie to themselves every fucking day and make excuses, right? The ones that don't lie to themselves, they understand, right? They're able to gain weight. They're able to lose fat. But if you're not doing that, if you're not able to do that, if you're stuck at a standstill, really be real with yourself. Are you actually being 100% real? Are you being 100% honest with yourself? Because there are only so many variables in fitness. There are only so many variables when there's a problem that you need to fix. So narrow it down to those variables. And my friend texted me this morning at 5 a.m. and I was going back and forth with him because we've had the same conversation, because he's cutting right now, right? And this is a good friend, right? He's a good dude. He's solid. But the thing is, it's the same conversation. It's the same conversation I have with all these guys. They're like, how do you put on weight? Right? And it's very simple. I honestly don't like having the conversation. I'm very passionate about it because I had to go through it. But it comes down to two things. If you're not losing fat, you are not counting your calories, or your metabolism is crashed, right? It's one or the other. If you are counting calories and you are in a deficit, you are not some genetic anomaly that when you're in a deficit, you don't lose fat, you don't lose weight. It is science. It is literally science that, and a fact, 100% fact, there's no data disproving that if you don't eat, if you eat in a deficit, right? If you're eating less calories than you are burning, you are going to lose weight. That is how it works. That is how your body functions. Nobody is any different. You're not some genetic anomaly. That is how it works. The same thing goes vice versa. If you were in a surplus, you will gain weight. And so the people that say, I'm eating this amount of calories, and then they're not tracking, right? There's two things. Track your fucking calories. Don't tell me, hey, I'm not losing weight, and then not be tracking your calories. That's why he texted me. He's like, he's like, there's no, like I'm eating like 1,400 calories a day. Dude, how are you eating 1,400 calories a day? Show me proof that you're eating 1,400 calories a day. I'm not tracking, but there's no way I'm eating more than that. I'm just eating chicken breasts and rice. There's no way I'm eating more than that. If you're not tracking it, don't fucking talk to me. I had a dude that was saying that he was eating 5,000 calories a day and he didn't gain a single pound. 140-pound dude. 140 pounds. And this dude was telling me he was eating it, and he was so adamant that he was eating it. All right? And this was from back home. Like, I had the same conversation with a dude I met in Thailand as well. But I remember having this conversation with the dude back home, and multiple dudes. And small guys that want to gain weight, they might have a fast metabolism, but you are not eating 5,000 calories and burning 5,000 calories every single day. There's just no way, right? There's just no way. Maybe you are super active, but then at that point, like, you could literally eat anything. You just up the calories. It's like I was saying, it's the same thing with science. You eat more calories than you burn, you're going to gain weight. There's no genetic, like, there's no like, oh, the food just goes into thin air and just evaporates in your stomach. No, it's got to go somewhere. It either goes out your butt, gets burned as fuel, or turns into fat, turns into muscle, right? You store it. And so that was maybe a little bit too much into like the fitness side, but this goes into you lying to yourself, right? You let your emotions take over. What are these people telling themselves when they're looking at the food, right? When I'm in a cut, these are things I consciously notice. I'm going to underestimate how much things are in calories. If I look at this plate of food that I want, that has all these various food items on it, and I'm in a cut and I'm super hungry, but I know I'm on a calorie restriction diet, I am subconsciously, even if I don't think that I'm going to subconsciously think that this food is less calories than it actually is. So you know what I do? Logically, what's the logical thing to do? I'm fucking gonna overestimate. I'm gonna overestimate how many calories is in this. Because you know what? I would rather go overboard than go underboard. I would rather surpass my goals of losing the amount of fat rather than fall short and not get to my goal. Wouldn't you? Right? I'd rather go too far than not go far enough. That's a very good quote. Like, I'm getting like goosebumps when I say that, because that's one of my favorite quotes. I don't know even who said it. But I would rather go too far than not far enough. Think about that. And it's the same thing that you, like, if you lie to yourself, consciously think, take a step back, look at yourself third person, like you're in fucking gamer like Fortnite, look at yourself in third person and really think about the logical decisions and the logical things, the logical variables that could be happening. You're moving through life with emotion. Disassociate yourself with your goals. Because you are not, like, when you're going towards your goals and you're having to do all these difficult things, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. You have to do 50 push-ups. You have to go to the gym twice a day. You do your hour of cardio, right? You're going to be in that moment. You're not going to want to do that shit, right? I don't want to do that shit. I didn't want to be at the gym this afternoon doing an hour of cardio. You know what? I disassociated myself, took myself out of my body and be like, my emotion doesn't matter right now. Right? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to remember this. This has nothing to do with me. It just has to do with getting my goals. All right? And if you guys learn to not lie to yourself and be like, oh, I was on a good diet today. I don't have to move around as much. Maybe I don't have to do this cardio. All right, I'm just going to cut out this and not do my cardio. All right, I'm going to cut out this meal and not do my cardio. Right? Versus if you disassociated yourself and be like, this is what I'm going to do, or underestimated your calories, right? I'm going to overestimate how many calories it is, so I know, even if it was correct, even if I was right with the calories, I'm gonna be under, and I'm gonna get closer to my goal faster. It's different when you're bulking, right? Because you don't wanna go too much over, but I'm not a big believer in bulking. I'm a big believer in main gaining. That's how I got how big I am right now, is main gaining. I don't go into crazy surplus, right? The last time I did that, I got to 220 pounds, but I was fat as shit. And I hated it. And I hated the way I looked. I was more self-conscious than when I was skinny. So I don't recommend that. But the main thing is that every day you are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself, and you're digging your hole. You're digging your grave. So just take a second, disassociate yourself, right? It might not be fun, but it's just what you got to do, because if you let the emotions take over, you know what happens when people live with emotion, right? There's this thing in business, right? I had a guy tell me, like I was doing sales, and I remember one of like my mentors, a guy that I really looked up to. He's like, if you use emotion in business, I will kill you. Like, I will kill you in business if you use emotion. The same thing is with anything in life, right? Guys who run businesses with emotions and go through life being emotional and making emotional decisions will get killed, right? Leaders. If the president of the United States, if the president of any country or any nation in history uses and makes decisions with their emotions, they will get destroyed by the countries that use logic, right? Do you think the ruler of the Roman Empire just just made every decision with his emotion? No fucking way. No, he made tactical decisions using logic, right? And strategy. And so think of that way yourself, right? Think of these strategies. Think of the variables in your life that could be the cause to what is not happening. Maybe I'm telling this dude, all right, dude, what are the variables? You're putting a bunch of sauces on your fucking food. What's in those sauces? Oil, butter, like who knows? Fat. There's a lot of calories in sauces, but no, you have no idea. All right, think about the variables. And the same thing is in your life. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying I'm perfect. All right, I do this myself, but this is something that I know a lot of people can benefit from. So if it does for you, just remember. If you have any questions, just let me know. But it's something I'm having to work on. I've gotten good at it at fitness, obviously for cutting and I guess bulking, but I think main gaining is better. If you do want to get shredded, if you do want to take your physique, if you do want to learn my mindset, my accountability, all that stuff, I have a full program. You can book a call with me. We can talk about your goals. We can talk about where you want to take your fitness journey. If you want to lose fat, you want to get in the best shape of your life, and you want to become a disciplined freak and get to your goals. It's in the description. So let me know. TMQ Fit on Instagram. I'll answer all you guys' DMs on there. And I hope this was helpful. All right, day 278. Peace.